So based on the composition of a function, there is some theorems on the composition of a functions here. In that, the first one is a function. Consider let f from a function a to b and g be the function from b to c be the any two functions. Then the followings are true here. So those are, first one is if f and g are 1 functions. If f and g are 1, so g dot f is also 1. So g dot f is a 1. And the second one is if g dot f is 1. If g dot f is 1, then f is 1. Then f is 1. Third one, if f and g are onto. If f and g are onto, so is the g dot f is onto. Fourth one, if g dot f is onto, then g is onto. So that we have to prove the theorem here. If f and g are the be any two functions, then if f and g is a 1, then g dot f is also 1. If g dot f is a 1, then f is 1. If f and g are onto, then g dot f is a onto. If g dot f is a onto, then g is a onto. So come to the proof of the theorem here. From the given function, g dot f is a function from a to c by the statement of the composition. Come to the first proof. Take any a1 and a2 belongs to the set A. Then we find g dot f of a1 equal to g dot f of a1. G dot f of a1. So g dot f of a1 is equal to g dot f of a1 is equal to g dot f of a2. G dot f of a1 is equal to g dot f of a2. Because we are considering here a f and g are a 1. If f and g are 1, g dot f of a1 is nothing but the g dot f of a2. Because f is 1 means f of a1 equal to f of a2. That implies f of a1 equal to f of a2. If f is a 1, that implies a1 equal to a2. Here, to prove that g dot f is a 1, if f and g are 1, first consider f and g are 1. I am just proving this one more way. If f and g are 1, that indicates f of a1 equal to f of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. Similarly, g of a1 equal to g of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. That is our assumption. First we have assumed that f and g are 1 here. Now we have to prove that g dot f of a1 equal to g dot f of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. First, g dot f of a1 can be written as g of f of a1 equal to g dot f of a2. So g dot f of a1, g dot f of a2. So according to the function f of a1, f of a2, suppose if g is a 1, g of a1 equal to g of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. Instead of a1, here it is f of a1. So g of a1, g of a2 equal to a1 equal to a2. You just have to compare this with this assumption. So now consider f of a1 equal to f of a2. If f of a1 equal to f of a2, that implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore, g dot f of a1 equal to g dot f of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore, g dot f is 1. Therefore, g dot f is 1 1. So that first we have rewritten the g dot f of a1 as a g of f of a1. G of f of a1 equal to g of f of a2 implies f of a1 equal to f of a2. That implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore, g dot f is a 1 1. Now come to the second proof. Again, for any a1 comma a2 belongs to the set A, then f of a1 and f of a2, then f of a1 and f of a2 belongs to the set A. Now come to the suppose f of a1 equal to f of a2. Take a g on both sides. G of f of a1 equal to g of f of a2, because g is a function from the B. G is a function from B to C. So therefore, take a g on both sides. G of f of a1 equal to g of f of a2. We can rewrite it as g dot f of a1 equal to g dot f of a2. According to the assumption, g dot f is 1 1. If g dot f is 1 1, g dot f of a1 equal to g dot f of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore, f of a1 equal to f of a2 implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore, f is 1 1. Therefore, f is 1 1. Now come to the third proof. Come to the third one here. So in the third one, if f and g are onto, then prove that g dot f is a onto. Means to prove that g dot f is a onto, prove that g dot f is onto. If g dot f is a onto means we have to prove that g of f of a equal to some constant belongs to the set C. Some constant belongs to the set C. That we have to prove here. So therefore, first consider any element C that belongs to the set C. Since G is a onto, according to the given, G is a onto. So G is a onto, there is a sum B element belongs to the set B, such that G of B equal to C, because G is onto. Similarly, if B belongs to B and F is a onto, F is a onto. If F is a onto, there is a sum A belongs to the set A and B belongs to the set B, then F of A equal to B. So that is our assumption that F and G are onto here. Now we have to prove that G dot F is a onto. So for some element, if G dot F is defined from the set A to C, there is a sum A belongs to the set A, then G dot F of A equal to G of F of A. Our F of A equal to B, therefore G of B. Our G of B equal to C. Therefore, G dot F of A equal to C. For some A belongs to A, for some C belongs to C. Therefore, G dot F is onto. Therefore, G dot F is onto. Now come to the fourth one. According to the fourth one, G dot F is onto. G dot F is a onto for any C belongs to C. There is a sum A belongs to A, C belongs to C. Then G dot F of A equal to C. Now we have to prove that G is onto here. Here, since F of A belongs to the set B, F of A belongs to the set B. This means that any C belongs to C, there is an element. This means that given any C belongs to the set C. This means that any C belongs to the set C, there is a there is an element f of a in there is an element f of a in B such that g of f of a equal to c. G of f of a equal to c. If g of f of a equal to c means g is onto, because f of a is belongs to the set B and there is a some c belongs to c, therefore g is onto. Come to the second theorem. Theorem 2. So according to the theorem 2, let f from a to b and g from b to c and h from c to d be a three functions, then h dot g dot f is equal to h dot g dot f. So that we have to prove here. So to prove this theorem, we know that f dot g dot h and g dot h dot f, h dot d dot g dot f or h dot of g dot of f are the functions from a to d. Are functions from a to d. Are the functions from a to d. So now consider, for any x belongs to a, we have h dot g dot f of x is equal to h dot g dot f of x is equal to, consider f of x as a y. Consider f of x equal to y, where y is nothing but our f of x. So now consider, now move to the next proof, h dot g of y. Consider g of y as a z, then it becomes h of z, where z equal to g of y. Now similarly go for h dot g dot f of x. H dot g dot f of x is equal to h of g dot f of x. That as can be again written as h of g of f of x. G of, again f of x can be written as g of y. G of y can be written as z, h of z. From the equation, call this one as a 1 and 2. From the 1 and 2, it is clear that h dot g of f of x is equal to h dot g dot f of x. So this above theorem shows that the composition of a functions are associative. The composition of a function is associative here. So now come to the example here. So example is f, g, h be a functions from z to z. That is defined by f of x equal to x minus 1, g of x equal to 3x and h of x equal to 0 if x is even and 1 if x is odd. Determine f dot of g dot h of x and f dot g dot h of x and verify that f dot g dot h is equal to f dot g dot h. So to prove this example, come to the to find the solution of the example, come to the now. We g dot h of x is equal to g of h of x. Consider this h of x as a x simply. Consider this simply as a x. Come to the given g of x is equal to 3x. Instead of x here it is h of x. So it can be written as 3 into h of x. Now come to the f dot g dot h of x. F dot g dot h of x is equal to f of g dot h of x. We already find it. G dot h of x is nothing but a 3h of x. Consider entirely this one as a x now. F of x is equal to x minus 1. Instead of x here it is 3h of x. So 3 into h of x minus 1. So that is equal to, we know that if x is even, h of x is 0. If h of x is 0, 0 into 3 is 0. 0 minus 1 equal to minus 1. If x is even. Suppose if x is odd, h of x equal to 1. If h of x equal to 1, 3 into 1 are 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. If x is odd. So now come to the second part. Now f dot g of x can be written as f of g of x. So consider this as a x. F of x equal to x minus 1. That is g of x minus 1. Our g of x equal to 3x. So therefore 3x minus 1. Consider this one as a 1. So now f dot g of x, f dot g, f dot g dot h of x is equal to f dot g of h of x. We already know the f dot g. F dot g equal to 3x minus 1. Instead of x here it is h of x. F dot g of x equal to 3x minus 1. F dot g of h of x equal to 3 into h of x minus 1. Again by the same, if x is even, h of x is 0. If h of x is 0, that is equal to minus 1. If x is even. If x is odd, h of x equal to 1. If h of x is equal to 1, 3 into 1 are 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Therefore, from the 1 and 2, f dot g dot h of x is equal to f dot g dot h of x. Both are same here. Here f, g, h be the three functions from z to z. F, g and h be the three functions from z to z. So where f of x is defined as x minus 1, g of x is defined as a 3 of x, h of x is defined as a 0 if x is even, and if x is equal to odd, that is equal to 1. We have to determine f dot g dot of h of x and f dot g dot of h of x and verify that f dot g dot of h is equal to f dot g of dot h. So first we have to find out the g dot h here. G dot h of x is equal to g of h of x. Consider h of x as a x here. G of x equal to 3x. So instead of x, write down the h of x. Now f dot g dot h of x can be written as f of g dot h of x. We already know the g dot h of x here. Replace, that is 3h of x. Now consider it is f of x. F of x equal to x minus 1. Instead of x here it is 3h of x. So 3h of x minus 1. We know that if x is even, h of x is 0. If h of x is 0, that is equal to minus 1. Therefore, f dot g dot h of x is equal to minus 1 if x is a even. F dot g dot h of x is equal to minus 1 if x is even. If x is odd, h of x is equal to 1. 3 into 1 is a 3. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. Therefore, f dot g dot h of x is equal to 2 if x is odd. Come to the second part here. First, we find the f dot g of x. So, f dot g of x can be written as f of g of x. So, consider g of x as a x. F of x equal to x minus 1. That is g of x minus 1. So, g of x equal to 3x minus 1. Now, f dot g dot h of x can be written as f dot g of h of x. Consider this as f dot g of x. Instead of x here it is h of x. So, f dot g of x equal to 3x minus 1. F dot g of h of x equal to 3h of x minus 1. Now, h of x minus 1 will be 0 if x is even. If h of x is 0, that is equal to minus 1. If h of x is 1, if x is odd. So, if x is odd, h of x is equal to 1. 3 into 1 is a 3. 3 minus 1 equal to 2. So, therefore, f dot g dot h of x, f dot of g dot h of x, both are equal here. Now, we are moving to the composition of a functions. Now we are moving, these are the theorems on the composition of a functions here. Next, we are moving to the invertible functions. So, what is the invertible function? Suppose f is a function from a to b, is said to be a invertible, if there exists a function g from b to a. If there exists a function from g from b to a such that g dot f equal to ia and f dot g equal to ib, where ia is the identity function, on a, and ib is the identity function on b. So, then g is called the inverse of f, and we write it as g equal to inverse of f here. So, we represent it in a diagram. Here it is a and here it is a b. That is called a function f. Inverse of f is indicated by like this. That is f inverse or g. Suppose f is a function from a to b, is said to be a invertible if there exists a function g from b to a such that if g dot f equal to ia and f dot g equal to ib, then ia is called the identity function on a, ib is called the identity function on b, then we say that g is the inverse of f here. That is the definition of an invertible function here. F is said to be invertible if there exists a function g such that g dot f equal to ia, f dot g equal to ib, where ia is an identity function on a, ib is the identity function on b, then we say that g is an inverse of f, and we write that as g equal to inverse of f here. So, this will be indication in the diagram invertible function. Now, take down the example here. Let a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and f and g be a functions from A to B. A to B. That is given by f equal to 1, 4, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, and g equal to 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. Prove that f and g are inverse of each other. F and g are inverse of each other. Now come to the solution here. G dot f of 1 is equal to g of f of 1. Now f of 1 is equal to 4. Now g of 4 is equal to 1. That is equal to IA of 1. Now g dot f of 2 equal to g dot f of 2 equal to g of f of 1. Sorry, f of 2. So f of 2 equal to 1. That is g of 1. G of 1 equal to 2. That is IA of 2. Now g dot f of 3 equal to g of f of 3. F of 3 equal to 2. Now g of 2 equal to 3. That is IA of 3. Now g dot f of 4. G of f of 4 is equal to f of 4 is equal to 3. So g of 3 is equal to 4. That is IA of 4. Now f dot g of 1. F dot g of 1 is equal to f of g of 1. G of 1 equal to 2. F of 2 equal to 1. IA of 1. Now f dot g of 2. F of g of 2. G of 2 equal to 3. F of 3 equal to 2. That is IA of 2. Now f dot g of 3. F of g of 3. G of 3 equal to 4. F of 4 equal to 3. That is IA of 3. Now f dot g of 4. F of g of 4. G of 4 equal to 1. F of 1 equal to 4. That is IA of 4. So by seeing these equation, g dot f of 1 equal to 1. F dot g of 1 equal to 1. G dot f of 2 equal to 2. F dot g of 2 equal to 2. So therefore, for all x belongs to A, we have g dot f of x equal to IA of x and f dot g of x equal to IA of x. Both are equal. Therefore, G is an inverse of f and f is an inverse of G. So that is the required proof here.